that come from our people who want to be elected, so that we know what the people have said to you and generate what you plan to do if elected, so that we want you to claim all that you know and all that you are, but at the same time, we want you to communicate with the people who are going to vote for you. So we want to know what they want. What do they feel priority changes or additions or policies or programs or plans, that kind of thing. And we want to be able to circulate that. And I think there's a handy way of doing it now, so that you can use your video screen and you can send out information that way. So if we have limited people, good evening, Mrs. Jones. We're going to be able to say, okay, I am sending you this message. Please take 30 seconds or a minute to listen to what I'm saying. It will have such an impact on most people to hear from you. It's almost like going to the door and knocking on the door and saying, may I come in? I have something to say, okay? And so those are suggestions. Now, in your professional training for Get Out the Vote, it says go 3 times to the same people. Knock on the door, call them up, give them a handout, maybe have a block party on your street. Now that doesn't mean you gotta have a barbecue, Yasmina, but it does mean, see I can pick on her, right? But it does mean that you can bring some chairs, put them in a circle, right? And you can talk to people about their surroundings, talk to people, see, get them involved. People always like to talk to you, right? And if they consider you a leader, then they always like to get information from you or have you go and get information for them. This is a good process. This is a good way for gathering people who will support you in anything that you do, okay? So I've done it. I'm not telling you something I wouldn't do, but take some chairs out there, let the people know Saturday we're gonna be out there at 11, okay? We're not staying all day. We're not having a barbecue. We're not having a social. We're coming just to gather and see what everybody wants. I live on Garwood, and we had a house that had burned, was vacant for years. And after we had a couple of meetings like that, we did impress upon the town that they had to demolish the property. So it's just a flat surface now, but we did get that done. And it might have avoided some people from going in there and then getting trapped in there, fire or something like that. The coffee clutch is nice. Sometimes people don't, since COVID, don't want you to come inside, but maybe use the backyard or the driveway to leave. And of course, I'm not telling you something that I'm not doing myself. I can remember that I thought Senator Rice was the better candidate. And he was the only one that I ever hosted, right? He and his team was Craig Stanley and also Odeline Truitt. And I knew all 3. And I asked them, to come. And I had 65 people in my driveway, right? And we just had a good time. Some people were newly registering, new to New Jersey, that kind of thing, but it had an impact. And so those are ways of getting people who otherwise wouldn't know you or just see you as a platform. Now, Yasmina is going through door knockers, and I've got my door knocker. Even for a souvenir. But, I like to read all about her, and I certainly do feel, excited that I have received something from the candidate. Okay. All right, the third thing I want to mention, and then we'll go to our questions. Tell as many people as you can that you are running and you need support. Don't limit it to the people who just live in your ward or on your street or in your district. Now, again, I would say that because it was really exciting to me to take the charge of calling people for presidential races in other states. So I called in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Ohio, and other states, okay? And you know, we speak English, I don't speak other languages. But a lot of people assured me, don't worry, or if they had early voting, I already did it, you know, that kind of thing. I only had one person that cursed me out. So I'd say it was well worth it, and the candidate did come through. But I would say that it's tougher for the not-for-profits, because I can't say go out and vote for a certain person as a representative of NAACP. But if I step out of that position, then I can say, well, I'm going to vote for so-and-so. Hey, Ms. Lane, how you doing? And the next item, or the poll workers and the challengers. If you haven't thought of them, be on the lookout for people who would volunteer. They can volunteer the whole day, or they can volunteer a part of the day to work for you at a polling place. Okay, they will get their ribbon, and their ribbon will allow them to go into the polling place at any time. Sometimes you will have one poll worker, right? So they will have to distribute your literature outside, 100 feet. Keep it 100 feet, don't come closer. But when they come inside, pull their challengers tag down and also request that the people obey the rules. Now this is something that happens. People tend to try to upset the voting machines. Keep in mind, people tend to try to upset the voting machine by trying to pull the plugs, okay? Let's not have that happen. Now you do have a way to call and get assistance, okay? But please, let's not allow that to happen. If it says the poll closed at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Not 5 minutes or 10 minutes before 9, now. You get your total, the tallies, by having the form released with the total number of votes. And that should be something that you are able to see, that kind of thing. Yes.
Do you have the number to call if somebody pulled the plug, like you said?
Yeah, you gotta send in your list of people.
No, you said somebody was trying to pull the plug on the voting
So
machine.
there's a person on site that is the manager. I don't know what to call it.
The judge, the vote.
Yeah, there's a judge.
I thought you had to call Durkin office too, right?
Well, yeah, you alert the judge,
Called, the clerks.
and then you call down to New Jersey election office. And that should be in your packet, so that you have the exact number to call New Jersey election officer, which will be different from the clerk. You can also call the clerk. County clerk is Clerk Durkin, but New Jersey elections always supervises the machines and all of the voting and all of the tallies. So it has to be reported, in other words.
Yeah, to the county board of elections, but the poll workers normally have the numbers, so if you have to call somebody, you can do
But
it.
what I'm saying, I would like to have the number so I can give it to whoever.
Oh, it's on, you can just go
Yeah,
online,
they
go
will
online,
give
go to the, just go to the website, the county website, or the board, New Jersey Board of Elections, or the Essex County Board of Elections, it's right there.
Okay.
They will give you that information.
Yeah, usually you get.
And then at the end,
Okay, I'll go.
when the tallies are made, it will be the same way. You just call and you get those tallies, so that you know.
You call the same number to get tallies of the boards.
Yes. So you know that is the state, right? And then also the county will help, right? If there's any trouble with the machine, you know, someone from the county will come. That should not happen with these machines now. They are a little more,
Secure.
able to work without having a glitch. And there should not be any tallies, paper tallies that are stuck in the machine. Those are probably past days when that used to happen, so it should not happen now. Okay?
And if you need to call the police, don't you call the state police?
Well, you don't have to call the police, you call the Board of Election.
Oh, I thought they said the state.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's the sheriff department, because when we ran in 22, we had incidents where they were trying to kick me out of the polling station, and so they called the sheriff department on me
Yeah,
to get me out. But I had no numbers, like I got the packet that you guys are talking
yeah,
about. I never received
you'll
the
get
packet.
it, you won't get it today, you'll get it though before the election, polls
Right.
open.
Right, but what I'm saying, I never received it the day that I was a challenger in
Yeah.
2022. I didn't get a packet.
Were you
Oh.
a challenger?
Yes, yes.
Well, you may not have gotten a challenge packet, but the candidate might have gotten.
I was a candidate
You was a
also.
candidate
She
too?
was a candidate, she should have got it.
Yeah, you should.
I never got a packet.
So you contact them again.
Yeah. And there's a deadline, yeah.
I've received it, I think so, I got it.
You got it. I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You contact them and make sure you turn the names in. Even if you don't think the person is going to be able to stay the whole day,
Still
put their name in anyway.
Tomorrow's the last
Okay.
day.
Okay.
Count up the number of polling places you have and try to cover it all
Who called
day.
the sheriff on me?
Tomorrow's the last day.
Because they said I couldn't be a candidate and a challenger,
I don't know.
because they didn't know the rules.
Yeah, challenge is very important, okay?
Yeah,
Because
tomorrow's the last
there be
day.
eyes and ears. Also look out for those unvoters. Now, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? This is just straight up, okay? You guys need to know this. If you see people, anyone coming in with little paper folded up, and they go and they try to, sign off for a ballot, that's probably somebody that doesn't have the right to place their vote. Right. There are the horror stories I won't go into, but be alert to that, okay? You don't want to have a practice that is an unpractice, in other words, okay? Likely, that would be somebody not thinking who would do things like that. But everybody has to be registered, and they have to be registered a certain number of days ahead of time. So they can't come in and register. Now, who can tell us how provisional works? Who knows what a provisional ballot is?
It's like absentee ballots, right?
That's, if you're not on the list, the registered list, you can still put your vote in, and they'll check on it later on, actually, but you still have the right to vote, even though they may not have you listed as a registered voter.
Okay? And if you have time, you go right down to the clerk's office and tell them your page is not in the book, right? And anybody who has that kind of issue, that they come and they say, well, your name's not here in this book for this district, then they will be entitled to the provisional. But I would also go right to the clerk's office and let them know, I am so-and-so, bring your ID, like that. And I'm sure they will get satisfaction. Okay, now the absentee and the mail-ins. As I said before you came, I am wondering if people keep track, because I received a mail-in. I got 3 envelopes almost at the same, progression. I did my April school board, sent it in. Today I did my May council, and I was ready to send it in, and then I looked and I saw, oh, got another envelope, and it looked the same, right? Because it looks the same, I'm saying it may not be easily recognized that there's another election in June, and because they have come in succession, then I'm worried. I'm very concerned that people will think, oh, I already voted, right? So a reminder would be handy, and anybody can remind anybody. You know, did you vote? Did you mail it in? Okay. Now there's a place on the envelope in case someone has to take a ballot for someone else. Okay, and they can fill out their name and information. How are you, Ms. Frazier? Glad to see you. Ms. Frazier represents the Urban League, so she's gonna have something to say in here. Okay.
I'm listening right now. I'm late, so my mother said you late, come and be quiet.
No, you always welcome, and we're so glad to have you. And we appreciate everything that you do. Now,
Hold your question.
there's only two more things, and then we have little questions to answer. Next is voter registration, which we covered, and always be ready with a paper ballot, or say vote.org, or say New Jersey elections / because there are people who want to vote and they haven't registered. Okay? Now, you should check to see if you can get precinct sheets, because those precinct sheets will tell you who voted in the last election, right? And then you will know where their address is and that kind of thing. But you really want to be able to contact everyone that you have registered to vote, because they'll be looking to you for advice, right?
She has a specific
I have a
question.
Just so they'll know, the other candidates, the mail-in ballots, once the resident fills it out, the candidate can't handle the ballot,
No,
okay?
right.
Okay.
No candidates handle any of that. Or you'll be in big trouble, okay? So make sure that someone else assists you. No mail-in, no, you don't assist with any of those things. And I know when they have those classes for you, it is a plus. But sometimes, you know, we forget the details. But no, your candidate, you strictly stay in your candidate lane and don't try to get out that lane, okay? But that is again why you amass other people, and they don't have to live in your town, your state. Emily, there can be somebody who assists you. And please try to gather as many people who support you as can. Sometimes if people knew you, oh, I knew her when she was growing up, that's good, because they can speak good about you and talk about all the things that you are on. Okay, now,